versatile one, so it's a common answer.
Same as me. And we can see the players are going into Armageddon. And you've said you're a big fan of Magnus Carlsen and, of course, Hikaru Nakamura. And I'd like to thank you so much, Marcus, for coming into the studio and for your time.
Thank you.
Wow, and Magnus has brought us really good luck here in the studio because it's the King's Gambit. Wow, a romantic opening. You nearly never see this in the 21st century. And Judith, your eyes have lit up.
Absolutely, because this was my opening when I was a baby. I was starting out with this opening with 2f4, sacrificing the king pawn there. And I was playing with bishop c4, not with this very aggressive, from the 18th century, we can say. Knight f7. No, not yet.
You want to give up pieces, lure that black king out into the open, but this is a older variation, as you mentioned, and yeah, it has a decent reputation, a solid reputation for black. I'm surprised Magnus has given back the pawn. No more King's Gambit. It is level material, and Hikaru looking away to the left there. That signifies he's trying to remember something. He normally has that face on when he's recalling opening theory. I've had this position myself against the likes of Nigel Short. And, okay, what will Hikaru play? I'm surprised he's gone in for this because Magnus had that World Championship match against Jan Nepomniachtchi in 2021, who had just released a chessable course on the King's Gambit. So Magnus will have studied this in recent times.
But novelty incoming. I mean, Hikaru's little pawn move, never been played before.
Okay. It doesn't look like the most impressive move, I've got to say, Judith. No attacking chances for white.
Now there's kind of some transposition and 2 games in the database. What do you think?
It looks very good for black because black is much more developed right now. Look at white's pieces; none of them developed yet, and but it's really cool that we have a King's Gambit in an Armageddon. I played it last time, you know, in 2010 or something. At some point, I was playing a rapid event in Mexico, and I played against Topalov, and I won. Very convincingly. I couldn't believe it myself.
It was like a nice exchange sacrifice or something on, was it, or some kind of sacrifice on f4 in that game maybe? I remember watching it and thinking, wow, this is how chess should be played.
Yeah, that was shocking. That I don't even know why I came up with that idea to play King's Gambit. But here really white is in trouble from development point of view, right? I mean, knight is going to jump to e5 or d4 in a second. And you can't stop both.
Yeah, you can't stop both. Once the knight arrives on e5 or d4, maybe the bishop will come out. Black will be very quick to castle queenside. It doesn't look like the King's Gambit has worked out. This time it has backfired. This is unfortunately why it doesn't make an appearance more often at the top level.
Well, King's Gambit is something that is great if your opponent frightens from you, you know? Gets afraid. But Magnus is not that type of guy. He's going to be smiling on your f4, right?
Yeah, he's normally the one who puts in all the hard work to surprise the opponent, Magnus, and he's got given a position that he probably knows very well. A very quick play from him so far.
But we have seen 2 successful games in the Armageddon where the players have just played some wild position and they've sacrificed material, and they're saying, you know, black simply doesn't have enough time to handle all those complications, even though, let's face it, it probably is a great position for black. Because the games that I'm thinking of is like Shakira against Ariane. He just gave a pawn, had some initiative.
Yes, but that's a different story.
And yesterday, let's not forget that escape trick that Magnus pulled on Wesley when he sacrificed the whole rook.
Yeah, but those were already middle game stuff, right? Mm-hmm. And from Mamedyarov, he just wanted to go into full complications. The problem is for white here that he just has no time to develop properly because what can you do? I mean, it's at first sight, it's really miserable. So knight c3, let's say, or okay, he went queen f2, kind of prophylactical move. Black, I think, will go knight e5, trying to jump to g4. But another idea is just to develop with the c8 bishop and even castle long. So the only problem for black is that there are so many tempting options. I think g3 is something that maybe the plan can be for white. That's why Magnus played rook g8.
Yeah.
This rook g8 is a different rook g8 than Abdusattoru made yesterday versus Starry.
This one we can understand, rook on an open file, but yesterday a bit more mysterious. And okay, Hikaru threatening to jump into the center with the white knight. This was cut out by Magnus Carlsen. Bishop e6, really nice move, and both sides need to rush to castle. It feels like surely bishop d2 is going to happen, and white's king needs to run to safety before it's too late. I want to give credit to Hikaru though. I'm so glad he promised entertainment. Maybe this is why in the interview he was smiling. He knew what he was going to do in the Armageddon. He knew that he had a surprise up his sleeve. It might have backfired so far, but still early days.
White, there are a lot of weaknesses.
Yeah, black's king is safe. It's got extra protection around it, extra shelter compared to the white king. And like you say, Judith,
this is not something that you get away against Magnus.
yeah, not in classical at least, but this is Armageddon. 2 minutes now for white. Hikaru is down on the clock. Not good news for the American fans there. What to play? It's hard. There's tactics all over the place. You're threatening to take this pawn, undermine the white knight on e4.
Also, knight c4 is a threat. Both.
I mean, isn't it time to mobilize the rook? And he does do that. And maybe there are some ideas of rook takes bishop in the air. I can see the evaluation, but hating white's position. But still, when the players have less than 2.5 minutes on the clock, it's going to get tense.
Wow, and we did see that there was a missed opportunity for Magnus. We saw the red cross appear with his last move, but he plays a very safe one. Can't blame him for that. There are going to be tactical opportunities later. He's up on time with a great position, as said there in the featured chat, Magnus Carlsen right now. Hikaru needs some magic.
He's allowed bishop takes pawn.
He's done it willingly. Maybe that was the lesser of the evils there. Smash and grab, that white pawn on a2 has disappeared, but white has gained some time in return. Going on the attack now, counter-attack. Hitting the black queen. Oh, Magnus is zooming in for the kill, Judith.
He's not joking here.
No, big threat on the board of queen a5 check. And something is going to happen on a2.
Something's going to happen. The queen and bishop combo there for black, looking really menacing. You need to block somehow with the white queen, with the white rooks. But it feels like it's hanging by a thread. Under 1 minute now for Hikaru.
Maybe he'll play some b4 or something just to protect this a2 square, but it's kind of hopeless.
Yeah, Magnus with a better position and also more time on the clock. And the players are on move 31, which means that still some moves left before they get that 1 second increment. And we see a set of rooks leave the board.
Yeah, Magnus is a pawn up and with the ongoing initiative, so that trade seems to help black.
Queen a4 seems to be quite a strong move. Queen h2 and queen h4, so kind of a double attack.
Oof, yeah, that looks like a killer.
No, but Magnus decides to weave a mating net. Bishop comes down to b3. Big threat of queen a4 on the board.
Almost unstoppable threat. Unstoppable if you have 30 seconds at least. How does white get his pieces in? The white knight, the white bishop, they're just offside, unable to come back to the rescue of their king. As said in the feature chat there, Hikaru does need a miracle. With 30 seconds left, queen a4. Oof.
Rook goes away. Still the fighting spirit is there.
Yes.
Yeah, but Hikaru, 23 seconds. And check. Uh-oh.
The white rook is going to drop. The white rook is undefended. Magnus wins it. But his knight falls. Hikaru's still fighting. Still in the game for now, at least.
I'm not even sure that Nakamura did not give it on purpose with bishop g4.
Yeah, I think he had to. He had to give something up. But Magnus playing for tricks now. Bishop takes pawn. Really nasty. If the bishop was captured there, black had queen f4 check, picking up one of white's pieces. And now everything's coming through. Surely, Judith, this is going to be checkmate.
If it's not going to be checkmate, I think Magnus will be winning Hikaru's queen at the end of it.
On time.
Yep. And we see a handshake. Magnus takes the Armageddon victory with the black pieces and nets 1.5 points. Well, Hikaru did promise us fireworks, and in the end, the Armageddon game did deliver. That was